Yeah, WGC. Okay, now we talking. Now we squabbling.
Yeah! They squabbling out there now.
And as I said a couple of videos back, man, for the most part, 2K, if they've taught me anything, is to kind of quell my expectations. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm kind of excited right now. They got me. They officially got me, bro. I am officially hooked. I'm officially booking my ticket to the island of relevancy. All of that, bro. Chain wrestling is back. And if you know this channel's history, man, you know chain wrestling is one of the things that I've been advocating for years. Video after video, concepts, tweets, replies. And now we can
Finally!
scratch this one off the list. Shout out to 2K and VC for getting this one done. I humbly give you your flowers. We also got to give a huge shout out to the WGC because without you guys' voices, this surely would not have resonated with the dev teams as loud as it did.
You the real MVP.
And we also not going to pretend like AEW Fight Forever didn't have something to do with this as well. It's a testament that competition truly does bring greatness. I also want to give another shout out to AEW Fight Forever because it proved a valuable point that I've been saying about chain wrestling all along. It's not so much the feature rather than how it is implemented. And you have to give them props because no matter how you feel about that game, you cannot deny that the chain wrestling was beautifully implemented. It kills that narrative that we can't have legitimate wrestling features without them being immersion breaking. So now that we know that this feature is indeed making a comeback, let's switch hats for a second and focus on the how this feature can be reintroduced into this series. So WGC, lock in and let's work. Kicking things off on a very base and fundamental level, at its core, the fun factor has to be on point, 10 toes. And I know that's easier said than done, but they have to find a way to make this engaging. Something that players are excited to see and want to participate in. It doesn't need to be one of those features that like after you see it a couple of times and he's like, okay, that's cool. Now I'm going to turn it off. As I've always stated, man, this is a feature that could be very instrumental in match pacing and breaking up the combo fest that we currently have. So I really hope we get a decent range of sequences varying from basic wrestling maneuvers to more of the style-based stuff. And let's just even throw in some character-specific stuff just for fun. Functionality is also a major factor in this feature because I think one of the biggest knocks on this feature the first time around was that the mini games were kind of intrusive and a little bit long-winded, to be honest. If they could find a way to nail the pacing and the immersion, I think we got a winner, man. And while this is a major victory for those of us who are actually gameplay over everything and just love the idea of having more pro wrestling in their wrestling games, for me personally, it's a little deeper than that. The return of chain wrestling gives me faith that the quality of life features were not just a one-off, and just maybe it's something that we could start looking forward to each year. Maybe next year we get an overhaul submission system or those weapon physics that are highly coveted from SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. I mean, at this point, who's to say that those things didn't make it into the game this year? The reason I love the quality of life feature so much is because it shows love to an attribute that is highly underrated, yet it is so appreciated by fans. And that is simply effort. It is absolutely crazy how effort or the lack thereof can drastically change the perception of fans. One of the worst things that you could do to a fan base is come off as if you're not trying or you don't care. And I think that's where some of the frustrations were stemming from with the WGC. With them putting more emphasis on quality of life features, it just brings a more positive energy. Does this mean we're going to get a perfect game? Absolutely not. And to be honest, there's no profit in perfection. But what it does do is let the fan base know that they care and that they're trying. And while I can't speak for everyone, personally, this is much appreciated. But that's just my take on things. WGC, comment down below. How do you guys feel about the return of chain wrestling? And have you officially bought into the hype of WWE 2K25? And if so, what hooked you? As always, I appreciate you guys giving me a piece of your time. It is truly, truly appreciated. All glory to God. Love y'all. And remember to try to be a blessing to somebody. Yay.
No fear.
Watch your...
Has the arm trapped. Psycho cutter.
Niven's on her last breath.